The crime went unsolved for 25 years until DNA matched Cox to the crime, but the questions have remained. Did he know Angie? How long did he keep her alive? Did he act alone? Tonight, our Christine Byers brings us exclusive details on what prosecutors gave up to get Cox's confession.
Earl Cox told his public defender he had car troubles on November 18, 1993, so he pulled to the side of the road. The convicted serial child predator had been released from prison just 11 months before.
He saw the school bus, out of his peripheral vision, and just within a matter of moments, he saw a little girl walking down the sidewalk.
Initially, Cox said Angie approached him first.
It didn't happen that way, but that's a typical trait of somebody who is a predator on children. They, in their own minds, they probably have to figure out a way to live with themselves, and so they just have to minimize things and sort of distance themselves from the bad things that they've done to these kids. He asked her if she was hungry, and she said she was. She got in the car, and they stopped by Burger King and just drove around, and the rest, unfortunately, is history.
Cox said they drove around for hours before he took Angie to his mobile home in St. Charles County, where he tortured and sexually assaulted her.
Where did he keep her for 8 days without anyone knowing?
We do know there was a back bedroom in the back of the mobile home. It was never used by his roommate, his then girlfriend. He was the only one who had access to that room. People who are serial child predators, they are skilled at getting cooperation from the child.
Cox kept his girlfriend in fear, too. She was new to the country, barely spoke English at the time, and said she had no idea Angie was in there.
We came away from those hours worth of interviews, and we believe she was being honest with us. And so I think he was smart enough and conniving enough to manipulate that situation so as not to be exposed.
Some questions Cox couldn't answer. He's had 2 strokes and 27 years have passed. He didn't remember how long he kept Angie at his trailer or when he left her to die.
So I think that's ultimately how she lost her life, because he didn't see another way out.
The wildlife area was about 5 miles from Cox's trailer.
My theory is that he thought by the time anybody would discover her body, they wouldn't ever be able to identify the remains.
Lohmar says he is now convinced Cox acted alone. He wanted to put Cox to death for the crime, but there were 3 reasons why he decided against it. First, Cox wouldn't have lived long enough to be executed. Next, prosecutors had no other way of ruling out other suspects without a confession. And finally, convictions aren't guaranteed in front of juries.
I don't think there's anything that could have happened today or down the road at a trial that's going to certainly bring this girl back, but give your heart any sense of healing if you're a family member.
Christine Byers, 5 on your side.